Okay, so yesterday you watched 2 videos on dividing fractions, and we're going to kind of go over some notes on that today, also to put in your journal, and then kind of just talk about it a little bit. So we started with 1/4 divided by 3, and if I'm doing that with a model, I'm making a picture that's 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to shade 1/4. That's my model. So the first part of the problem tells me the model I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw a picture of 1/4. Then it says divide by 3. That means I'm going to take this model and I'm going to break it into 3 pieces. So my pictures are horizontal, so now I have to go vertical. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now I have three groups. Okay, and I'm only looking at one of those groups for the numerator. So here's the thing. When we're dividing fractions, we're only ever going to divide where the numerator is 1 on your fraction. Okay, so that means your answer, the numerator is always going to be 1. Okay, so I have 1 shaded, and then I have to count how many total pieces are in this model. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 1/4 divided by 3 is 1/12. Okay, if I take 1/2 and I divide it by 4, I'm going to take a model. I'm going to do it this way this time. And there's 1/2, and I'm going to shade it in. And now I'm going to divide it into 4 pieces. So since this one is horizontal, my line has to be vertical, just like before. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'm looking at 1/2. So this is 1/2, and I have 1 shaded out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1/8. Okay. All right, so if I'm doing the model where it says 5 divided by 1/2, this time the 5 tells me I need 5 models. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then I'm going to take each model and cut it in half. And so this time, 5 models cut in half. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces. So 5 divided by half is 10 halves. Okay, so notice that I started with a fraction and I ended with a fraction. Started with a fraction, ended with a fraction. Started with a whole number, ended with a whole number. Okay, all right. So here's the notes I want you to write down. It says, when we divide fractions, we divide by unit fractions, meaning the numerator is always 1. Just like I said, if you see a problem, a word problem, and it says the fraction is 2/3 and then the whole number is like 4, that's going to be a multiplication problem. It will not be a division problem. Okay? Then it says steps. Here are the steps. This is for working the algorithm part without a model. Okay? Without models. So step 1, we're going to put a 1 under the whole number, just like we did with multiplication. Step 2, we're going to keep the first problem or fraction. So if my problem is 5 divided by 1/2, we're going to put a 1 under the whole number. So 5/1 divided by 1/2. Okay? 1 under the whole number. And then it says keep the first problem. Well, when you read a problem, you read from left to right, just like you read a sentence. 5/1 divided by 1/2. So we're going to keep the first problem. We're going to change the sign from division to multiplication. So this is our change. And then we're going to flip the second problem or fraction. So 1/2 is going to flip. So keep the first one, change the sign from division to multiplication, flip 1 over 2, so it's going to become 2 over 1. And then last, we're going to multiply across. Numerator times numerator, just like we did with multiplication. Denominator times denominator. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, because the denominator's on the bottom and 10 is bigger than 1, we have to typo. Now think about it. How many times will 1 go into 10? 10 times, right? So your answer is just 10. Okay, so let's do some practice on that. So let's say I have 5, and I'm going to divide it by 1/4. First thing I'm going to do, put a 1 under the whole number. And then I'm going to write my letters above my problem. K, C, F. Keep, change, flip. Or, as we call it in class, Kentucky Chicken Fried. So keep, change, flip for division, okay? Only for division. You don't do it with multiplication. Remember, multiplication is totally different. All right, so we're going to keep, change, flip. So I'm going to take 5 over 1, and that one stays the same because we're going left to right. The division sign is going to change to a multiplication sign, and 1 over 4 is going to flip. It's just going to flip-flop. The 4 is going to go on top, and the 1's going to go on bottom. And then you multiply across. 5 times 4 equals 20. 1 times 1 equals 1. 20 over 1. So again, I said if you typoed 20 divided by 1, 1 goes into 20 times, right? 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract, you get 0. Bring down the 0. 0 times 1 is 0. So your answer is just a whole number 20. So really, we just dropped the 1, and our answer is 20. It's a whole number. Okay? So I started with a whole number. I ended with a whole number. Always, if you start with a whole number, you will end with a whole number. Okay? If you start with a fraction, so 1/6 divided by 3. I'm going to keep, change, flip. So 1 over 6 is going to stay the same. Put a 1 under the 3, because that's my whole number. I'm going to change the division sign to multiplication. And 3 over 1 is going to flip to be 1 over 3. Multiply numerator times numerator, and I get 1. Denominator times denominator, I get 18. That is your answer. You don't typo that. It is not a whole number. 1 is the numerator. It has to be the answer. Okay, so notice, started with a fraction, ended with a fraction. 1/7 divided by 4. 1 under the whole number. Keep, change, flip. 1 over 7 stays the same. Division becomes multiplication. 4 over 1 flips to be 1 over 4. Multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 7 times 4 is 28. Started with 1/7, ended with 1/28. Okay, so here's something I want you to take note of. When you are multiplying across, you're multiplying the two non-1 numbers. Then the denominators are 1. Okay, when you divided the whole number divided by a unit fraction, the denominators were both 1, and they're both on the bottom. When you're dividing by a fraction, a unit fraction, 1 over a number, the 1s are on the top. They're the numerator. And your answer is 1 over another number. Okay? So the numerators are 1. Denominators are your numbers you multiplied. When you multiply divided by a whole number, your denominators are 1. And your answer is a whole number. Okay? All right, so let's do a couple of problems together. So y'all can practice. Okay, so write that down. 5 divided by 1/4. Put a 1 under the whole number. Keep, change, flip. Multiply across. 1 under the whole number. Keep, change, flip. 5 over 1 times 4 over 1. 5 times 4 is 20. 1 times 1 is 1. So your answer should have been 20. Okay, 4 divided by 1/3. 1 under the whole number. Keep, change, flip. Multiply across. 4 over 1. Keep, change, flip. 4 over 1 times 3 over 1. Multiply across. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 1 is 1. One-third divided by 6. Keep, change, flip. All right. So you should have put a 1 under the whole number. Keep, change, flip. 1 over 3 times 1 over 6. 1 times 1 is 1. 6 times 3 is 18. I should put 12 for that one. So 1/3 divided by 6 is 1/18. Okay. 1/5 divided by 7. 1 under the whole number. Keep, change, flip. All right. 1 under the whole number. Keep, change, flip. That's 1 over 5 times 1 over 7. Your answer is 1 over 35. Okay. All right. So let's look at some word problems. Okay. So here's some practice problems, word problems for you. It says Miss Olson has 1/8 of an acre of land divided into 6 equal parts. What is the size of each part? Okay. It's telling you of each part, not of the whole thing. So here's what I know. She has 1/8 acre of land. And then she's dividing it into 6. So that means 1/8 divided by 6. Okay, so keep, change, flip. 1 under the whole number. Okay, one thing you can look at is your answer choices. Do you see that they're all fractions? That means I know I need to start with my fraction because my answer has to be a fraction. Okay, that's one indicator. So keep 1 over 8, change the division to multiplication, and then flip 6 over 1 to be 1 over 6. 6 times 8 is 48. 1/48 of an acre. Okay, so use your answer choices to help you. The next one, the math team does practice drills that each last 1/6 of an hour. In February, the team did practice drills for a total of 24 hours. How many practice drills did the math team do in February? All right, well, all your answer choices are whole numbers, which means you need to start with a whole number. So that means the 24 has to come first, divided by 1/6. Okay, so solve 24 divided by 1/6 and see what your answer choice is. Okay, so put a 1 under the whole number. Keep, change, flip. 24 over 1 stays the same. Division becomes multiplication. 1 over 6 becomes 6 over 1. 24 times 6 is 144. 1 times 1 is 1, which means your answer is just 144. Okay. What is the value of this expression? 1 over 12 divided by 36. So what is 1 over 12 divided by 36? Okay, well, I started with a fraction, which means my answer has to be a fraction. So 3 and 432 are both out. Okay, if you know the rule, start with a fraction, end with a fraction, then you can eliminate 2 answer choices. Okay, Put a 1 under the whole number. Keep, change, flip. 1 over 12 times 1 over 36. So then you just multiply across. And I know, I don't even have to do the math for it. I know that 12 times 36 is going to be way more than 3. So that means my answer is G. I did not even have to solve this one. If you just know the facts that starts with a fraction, ends with a fraction, you eliminate 2 answer choices. Write your problem out. You know you're multiplying 12 times 36. And if you remember that you're changing it from division to multiplication, then right off you should know that your answer is going to be 432. Okay? All right, which number line best models the expression 3 divided by 1/3? So this is 3 wholes, okay, divided by 1/3. Well, the easiest way to solve this one is to solve the problem. So 3 divided by 1/3, keep, change, flip. So 3 over 1 times 3 over 1 equals 9 over 1, which equals 9. So that means I need to look for the model that has 9 jumps. This one is way more than 9, isn't it? Okay. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it goes from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So that's a possibility. This one only has 3 jumps. It goes 0 to 9, but there's only 3 marks. So that one can't be out. Can't be it, so it's out. And then D goes from 0 to 3, but these are not 3 equal jumps, are they? And we don't need 3, we need 9. So your answer is B. Mr. Taylor built a doghouse. He had a board that was 12 1/4 feet long. He wanted to cut it into 4 equal pieces. Okay, it says 12 1/4. In 5th grade, we do not do improper fractions divided by a whole number. So I'm going to mark that one out because that is not a 5th grade problem. Which model represents 6 divided by 1/8? 6 divided by 1/8. Okay, so 6 is a whole number, and then it needs to be broken into 8 pieces. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, or 6 models, and it's broken down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 models, and 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, 6 models and broken down into 8s. Okay, look at the difference though. This one says 5 out of 8. That can't be our problem, our answer. Because if we do keep, change, flip, 6 over 1 times 8 over 1, 6 times 8 is 48. Look what you have here. So that means my answer is A. C doesn't make sense, and neither does D. Okay. Same thing with this one. Juan has 6 gallons of juice for a school event. He pours the juice into small pitchers. Juan knows each pitcher's capacity is 1/3 of a gallon. Which model represents the number of pitchers Juan can fill? Okay. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's 3 models broken into 6. Ours says 6 gallons into thirds, right? So I know F is out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's a third, there's a third, 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 third. Okay? 6 gallons broken into thirds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay? It looks really good, but it actually goes past the 6, so that's out. This one is not even the correct drawing. So your answer is G. We had 6 gallons, which is 6 models, and it's broken into thirds. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And if you solved it, 6 over 1 divided by 1 over 3, keep, change, flip. 6 over 1 times 3 over 1 equals 18 over 1, which then equals 18. Okay? So sometimes it's best just to solve it and then find what matches. Okay? All right, so in a little while, I'm going to post an assignment into Google Classroom for you to work on that will be due tomorrow. The Ed Puzzle is due today. The assignment, the worksheet, is due tomorrow.